the Auburn Blitz Podcast, your direct source for all Auburn all the time with Brett Pritchard, Faith Richardson, and Randy Lee.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Blitz Podcast here on a Tuesday morning. We are glad that you have joined us wherever and whenever it is that you join us each and every day here on the Auburn Blitz, making Auburn Blitz part of your daily Auburn athletic intake. I'm Brett Pritchard, flying solo here on a Tuesday morning, getting ready to go to practice. So we'll be short. Going to just dive into some of the comments yesterday from head coach Hugh Freeze and maybe what he didn't do more than anything. From the presser yesterday, maybe do a quick look at this Auburn-Kentucky game as we move forward. Again, not a very good football team at all. This is 2 weeks in a row. Auburn will be taking on an opponent that, and I know that's coming from Auburn, that's 4-4 and hasn't looked very good offensively, but has looked elite defensively. But this is a bad Kentucky team. Auburn's a 10.5-point favorite at home. Auburn fans deserve something good to see in Jordan-Hare Stadium for a change. Hadn't happened in a while against an SEC team, so hopefully that will change on Saturday night. We'll talk about that and look at some of the numbers, and just not a very good Kentucky team. There's no way to spin it. So won't spend a lot of time on that this morning. I guess I'll start where everybody else has started, and reactions from the press conference yesterday with Hugh Freeze and not naming Ashton Daniels the starting quarterback. I just don't understand why you can't just do that. After what transpired Saturday afternoon in Fayetteville, and watching another edition of Jackson Arnold not being able to get it done and putting Auburn in a bad situation offensively, starting off 10-0 in the game on the road, feel pretty decent about the way things were going. And then all of a sudden it just fell apart, and Auburn was down 21-10, a pick six right before half. Hugh Freeze decides to go ahead and make the decision to put Ashton Daniels in on that last drive of the first half, and 40 seconds or whatever, didn't get a chance to do much. So you come out in the second half, Ashton Daniels, again, not an offensive touchdown under his leadership on the field, but led a lot of decent drives that got Auburn in good shape. Auburn ran the ball well with Jeremiah Cobb and settled for field goals, but Alex McPherson was on a heater, and Alex McPherson tied a school record with 6. And what a bounce back for him. There's a lot of positives to pull out. Xavier Atkins, co-defensive player of the week this week. That guy's he's just getting better and better every single week. And if you're looking at guys that you want to hold on to, like we said yesterday, that's a guy you need to be making plans and talking NIL and stuff like that around, because he's a game changer on defense. I mean, he made almost every play. But back to the quarterback situation, and right out of the gate, knew that was going to be one of the first questions. This is what Hugh Freeze said. He said, "I don't think there's any greater motivator than competition. That's what it is. It's an open competition to see who prepares and plays the best." I'm going to stop there before we go any further. Haven't we? It's been a competition the whole time, hasn't it? Hasn't Jackson Arnold had his time to prove? Hasn't he? Doesn't he have a body of work to evaluate? Now you're in a situation with Ashton Daniels with 4 games left to play, can only play in 3 more to keep his red shirt. So now how do you navigate those waters? But going back to Jackson Arnold and his inability to make plays in crucial situations in those 4 losses, should that be enough to say, okay, we tried and it didn't work? And why is it so hard to reward a kid that went out and saved you from another embarrassing loss? Not that the 4 against ranked teams were embarrassing. It's embarrassing the way the offense played. But if you're on the road in a half-empty stadium like Arkansas with playing a 2-5 team, and you end up losing that game, and I don't think anybody would argue if Jackson Arnold had remained in that game, I had no confidence, and everybody I've talked to had no confidence that Auburn would have been able to win that football game. Just wouldn't, especially the way the first half ended with Arkansas scoring 21 unanswered. I don't know that the defense would continue to play, but the energy level would have definitely been drained. I don't know that Arkansas wouldn't have smelled blood in the water and maybe stepped it up a little bit more on defense to come after Jackson Arnold some more. But bottom line is that guy wasn't leading Auburn to a victory Saturday in the second half. And the whole week, Hugh Freeze said if Auburn sputters, they got to find a spark. Well, the spark was Ashton Daniels. And again, numbers did not blow you away, but he did what he needed to do. And his decision-making was much more decisive and much more on point with what you need from a starting quarterback in this league if you want to win. And again, you got to remember, and I kept reminding people Saturday afternoon in the postgame show, and then yesterday on the podcast, that he came off the bench to do this. He hasn't played in any games. He's a you ask a guy on the road to just come in and save you. Hey, I'm sorry, we're down 21 to 10. I need you to come out here and win a game on the road in the SEC. And that's what he did. So after the game, Hugh Freeze was asked, has there been a change made? And he said, I'd have to watch film, and I'll let everybody know. Well, yesterday on the press conference, he was asked, you said you had to watch film. What'd you see? Who's going to be the quarterback? And that's the answer he gave. I don't think there's any greater motivator than competition. That's what it is. It's an open competition to see who prepares and play. Like, who are you protecting here? Like, the psyche. I mean, these are guys now that are getting paid money that have to accept failure and that have to understand if they're not getting it done, then somebody's going to take your position. Is Jackson Arnold that fragile? I mean, we heard in the offseason or going into fall camp, I told DJ Durkin to back off a little bit to give Jackson Arnold some confidence. Now, is he so fragile? You can't say, look, Jackson, right now, we're going with somebody else. Doesn't mean you can't work hard and move on and gain that back in practice. But, I mean, can he not just come out and say? And, I mean, that's about as bland of a statement. I mean, everybody knows you want competition, but we're talking about 4 games left in a season, and you just had to make a change on the road to get a win against a 2-5 team. Why can't you just say, we're going to go with Ashton Daniels? Because we all know he's going to start him, I would hope, against Kentucky Saturday night. He earned the opportunity to do it. Now, you got to practice, but what else is he going to see in practice this week that's been so much different than all the other weeks we've been going to practice and saying, I'll let everybody know I'm going here in just a little bit. But I don't understand. I don't understand what you're going to evaluate that you haven't been able to evaluate already about Ashton Daniels. And why can't you just go ahead and tell him and tell everybody we're going to go with, and it just continue to build on maybe a little momentum and say it didn't have anything to do with, casting Jackson Arnold out, but he has been given his opportunity all the way from spring through fall camp to this point now, and it didn't work. And so you go try somebody else, give him an opportunity to see if he can be the leader of this team moving forward. And if Ashton Daniels is, then you got to figure out how to manage you got to figure out how to manage the rest of the season, because if he plays in every game, and we've already talked about this moving forward, he's going to lose his red shirt. So how does Hugh Freeze handle that? And again, very winnable game. I have full confidence that against Kentucky at home at Auburn, that you could probably run any of the three out there. Ashton, Jackson, Deuce. If you run the football and play just solid football, you can beat Kentucky at home. And then you got Vanderbilt, then you got Mercer. So you got a chance here to do some things. But why not just go ahead and afford the courtesy to Ashton Daniels and publicly get behind him and say, look, so proud of what he did. You know, being able to come in and help lead our team to a win on the road. That's just kind of my take. You know, I'm not going to continue to sit here and beat a dead horse, but think Hugh missed an opportunity there yesterday. Again, going back to how this will play out, what would the reaction be in Jordan-Hare Stadium if he were to start Jackson Arnold Saturday? If he were to run him back in, and what does that say about what might be behind the scenes with Jackson Arnold in a potential deal that he had signed, and, you know, having to honor certain things that we may not even know about if he were to run Jackson Arnold back out there. And again, he left the door open. Again, people have got to understand with that statement saying competition makes everybody better, blah, 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 that he leaves the door open to say, okay, there is a chance that he can go out there and be our starter on Saturday. And I don't think it would be pretty from Auburn fans. I mean, Auburn fans are pretty resilient, and they're pretty cordial to players. But when they've had enough, they're going to boo too, just like anybody else. So we'll see how it plays out. All right, so he was followed up by Deuce Knight. Question, because he really talked about Jackson and Ashton. He didn't really say anything about Deuce. This is what he said. He said, I think I've said this publicly. I mean it. I think Deuce is the future of this program. I don't know that it's fair to throw him in that right now. He probably would handle it great. I'm certainly not saying he won't. He'll get a few reps too. It's really hard, really, really hard to try to do that with three guys right now. I do firmly believe there's not many arms like Deuce Knight, and he's got an elite one. Obviously, there's a lot of other things that go into play in that position, and he's quickly becoming better at understanding all of those. I can't wait to see when he does get this opportunity. So that's what he added on Deuce Knight, and really don't know where Deuce Knight kind of fits into this mix right now. I think everybody's on edge, worried about, you know, everybody monitors every little move everybody makes all the time with social media and all, and he's taken things down and deleted things and added things back and all this kind of stuff. It's got, you know, people are even analyzing pictures after the game with him being in a picture with all the other QBs and then him not smiling, and, you know, you just, when people just craft a lot of different things. So to come up with reasons why they think he's probably going to leave. I don't think now's the time to even worry about that. There's going to be opportunities to, when the season's over, to kind of see how this all plays out. And, you know, if you're going to get in the portal, you can get in the portal. If you're not, you're not. So, all right, he was asked about Cam Coleman, Darrell Robinson. Darrell Robinson is back, which is great news. He's ready to go. Auburn needed that. Jeremiah Cobb needed that. Need some help out there. You know, just not beating. And I know Omar Madsen contributed a little bit, but getting Darrell Robinson back, and if he's truly healthy and ready to go, like Hugh Freeze said, that's huge. That's massive. So, and as far as Cam Coleman, you know, it's not a high ankle sprain. It's in the lower part, which is obviously better. And he talked about that. It's better news. But he talked about Cam not so good yesterday. a lot better today, which was from Sunday to Monday. We'll see today at practice here in just a little bit if there's been a change there as well. So, but let's talk about some of our partners here on the program. We couldn't do it without them. Sensa Green, for air that's cool and clean, call on Sensa Green. They are the carrier experts here in the state of Alabama, saving you thousands of dollars on new installations. And if you get that new carrier unit, it'll save you money on your power bill as well. So you're going to be saving money throughout the life of the unit. So go ahead and call Sensa Green. They will take care of you, and they'll get that new carrier unit installed there. Heating, cooling, insulation. Call Sensa Green. Scout Program Management, a full construction management firm in Birmingham, Alabama, but serving the Southeast, serving all types of municipalities, school systems, whatever it is. If you got a big project coming up and you're planning everything, you need to call Scout Program Management. They're the guys to lead it. Can't think of a better group of people. Once you meet them, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Just a phenomenal company that will make sure you get what you pay for. So call on Scout Program Management for your next big project. I promise you, you will be glad that you did. And Bunkers in downtown Auburn on Glen, just what a great group of people too. We can't say enough about Alan and Wes and KJ and their whole staff. And they've revamped over there. Not that they needed to, but man, they've expanded more seating. The 2 bars, they still have the golf simulator base. It's just a complete experience. And not to mention the food's outstanding, and they've got live entertainment now with a stage. That is just a happening place. If you haven't checked out Bunkers in downtown Auburn, I don't know what the heck you're doing. It is a great, great place to go hang out. All right, a couple more things. Again, going back to Xavier Atkins, a co-defensive player of the week. The guy's just amazing. He's just been playing lights out. I don't know that there's a linebacker playing any better than him. And, to have a guy that emerges the way he's emerged is, in a defense that's already playing elite, he just makes it go up one step more. And, again, not much really else to add to that other than, man, glad we got him, and better figure out a way. If you're looking at guys that you're concerned about keeping on this team, that's one that you really want to be locking down, because he's not taking any steps back for sure. A couple other things of note. Coach Freeze talking about Jeremiah Cobb's career game on Saturday, and this is what he said. He said, if you look at it, we've run the ball well per average against most every team. We didn't run it near enough against A&M since we were behind the chains. If you look at the average per attempt, it's been pretty good. Jeremiah's a huge reason for that, along with the offensive line. We're wearing him out right now. That's, again, a concern. With 28 carries, that's a lot. In today's time, his body's not quite built like Jarquez Hunter's. We got some difficult games coming up, but he handled it well to this point. We've modified our practice with him. He's not getting as many reps as he used to in practice. And then, of course, Darrell Robinson coming back. How much can you give him? How much of the load can you give him coming back? And then, of course, with Omar Mapson, that's why it's so huge to get Darrell Robinson back in the mix, especially with no Damari Alston anymore. And I think he's spot on saying that Jeremiah Cobb's not really built to carry the ball 25, 30 times a game. And again, he's a tremendous back, and you got to have him coming down the stretch. So you got to take the load off of him somehow, but you got to run the football. You got to still be able to run the football. You got to figure out who it is that's going to step into that place. And hopefully Darrell Robinson can get back to full strength. I mean, he's obviously going to play in practice this week, but how much of a load can you put on him and work him back in to where he doesn't get injured again? Some things on Horatio Fields. Again, that was a major loss when he went down earlier in the season. He did speak to that. He said, I did not get an update on him today. So I'd totally be speaking out of ignorance, but I don't think he's close. So I'm always aware of the injured that are out there working and running. He's not to that point yet, so I don't have an accurate update. We do feel like we can get him a red shirt, which would be huge for us next year to have him back. So there's that. So a couple more updates there. He went on to talk about maybe one other thing that we needed to talk about today is John Cohen. He was asked at the end about John Cohen and any discussions with John Cohen. He said he has not talked to him. So with everything else going on in the world of college head coaching carousel, mid-year moves, obviously Auburn's is a program everybody's talking about with the way Auburn got off to an 0-4 start in SEC play and what the future of Hugh Freeze looks like, what the future of Auburn's program looks like. But a lot of dominoes falling with Brian Kelly and Billy Napier already, and more to come. And Sam Pittman. I mean, 3 guys in the SEC have already exited, and multiple coaches yesterday had their take on all of this. Of course, they're going to defend their fraternity and say, this is absurd and so much pressure and all this, and I get that part too. But if you're not getting the job done for whatever reason, or that particular program doesn't feel like you're the guy moving forward in the future, they're going to make a change. And obviously money doesn't mean anything anymore to these universities. They $54 million buyout, $70 million buyout, whatever, just throw it around. And then, it's like we talked about yesterday with Brian Kelly. It's not just his $54 million buyout. It's the buyouts for everybody else, and then the hiring of a new coach and new staff. I mean, upwards of $100 million change. And so you just throw money. You just pay people boatloads of money to just go home. It would be nice. Would be a phenomenal problem to have. I don't know that Brian Kelly, as a competitor, you want your job, but you ain't worried about anything the rest of your life, nor your family. When a university will stroke you a $54 million check to go to the house. So Auburn's done it. Auburn may do it again with the situation they got going on. It won't be to that extent this time with Hugh Freeze. The buyout's nowhere near that level, but that's where it is. So, all right, a few more of our partners here. Old Number One Customs. I've been bragging on them for so long now. Just such a great job they did on our master bathroom remodel. Call them 334-752-6162 for your next project at your house. Outdoor living space, and they do outdoor kitchens, and man, it's just awesome. Everything they do is custom and great. So check that out. Again, check them out online. Don't take my word for it, but you can go check out my Instagram and Facebook page as well. Their sister company, JFA Blue Plumbing, 844 JFA Blue, for all your plumbing needs. Everything that you have going on, the Home Atlas Water Filter Duo system, everything. JFA Blue Plumbing is the company to call. They'll come in and they'll fix your problem, or they'll enhance your experience in your house by adding that Home Atlas Water Filter Duo. Call them, JFA Blue, 844 JFA Blue. My friend Mark Gillen, Oliver Ross, full service bartending service. Let me tell you, when you have a tailgate, a private party, a convention, whatever it is, you want to hire fully licensed and trained bartenders to handle your bartending service. That's what you get with Oliver Ross. You can check them out on Instagram and all that. I've been to many functions here lately where they have been in charge of the bartending service, and everybody's professional and awesome. So you need to check them out. This is the time to do it. A lot of great things coming up with the holidays around the corner. You need to call on Oliver Ross. And finally, Russell Medical Center, one of the top 3 best hospitals in Alabama. Major, big-time city healthcare in a small town. You don't have to fight the traffic. You don't have to go through all the stuff of battling Birmingham and Atlanta and all these different places when you can get quality health care in a smaller environment and easy accessibility. Partnered with UAB Health. Can't say enough about the doctors and the medical staff there. If you're looking for a place to make you feel better, you need to check out Russell Medical Center. Again, one of the top 3 best hospitals in the state of Alabama. All right, that's going to wrap us up here on the Auburn Blitz podcast this morning. Going to head over to practice. We'll have an update a little bit later on. Again, we appreciate all of you so much for watching each and every day. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you go do that. Make sure you hit the like button. We very, very much appreciate all of you that have done that so far. All right, that's going to wrap us up. Again, we will be back with you at lunch for the Auburn Blitz show and then back in the morning for another edition of the Auburn Blitz podcast. Hope everybody has the best day ever.